I have both bad news and good news from that 49ers practice field. Nick Bosa and Osa Odighizuwa popping the sleds. Those guys part of the good news. But Ricky Pearsall did not practice today. The same injury that compromised this 2025 season is bothering him again. Some swelling in his knee. So it was the PCL that he suffered in week 4 against the Jacksonville Jaguars that really made Ricky Pearsall a significantly worse player. Well, right now the 49ers are evaluating all options moving forward. It's wild because the guy didn't miss a single college game due to injury, but this PCL, it's actually been the only injury that's made him miss game time in the NFL, the only football injury. He obviously got shot in the chest in 2024. 49ers have to find a way to get this figured out. The good news for San Francisco is that the rookie De'Zhaun Stribling looks awesome. Take a look at the highlights from today's practice because several receivers performed well in Pearsall's stead, including the one who you just saw make that catch, the veteran Demarcus Robinson. There's the second-year man Jordan Watkins, who also made a handful of catches today and has looked good in this training camp. When you look at Watkins, he can play outside or inside. Could be a real wild card for the 49ers if they need to bridge some depth issues. And of course, Demarcus Robinson, he could play any one of those positions. But it was De'Zhaun Stribling. He skied high today for a Brock Purdy pass over the middle. He is just so impressive. 86 was Junior Bergen. I'm going to talk about the punt return competition in a bit. 81 here is Malik Turner. Really good gunner for the 49ers. And 18 is Wesley Grimes, a rookie out of North Carolina State. Taller receiver for the 49ers. There's a look at Brock Purdy. Good news from him and Jenna Purdy today. They announced that their second child is on its way. So congratulations to Purdy. And obviously a look at the other 49ers quarterbacks is warranted. Curtis Rourke, most physically imposing 49ers QB, has a strong lower body like Purdy, but he's taller than Purdy or Adrian Martinez, who is wearing jersey number 4. Here's a check-in on the special teams room, the punter competition, and Eddie Pinheiro presiding over it. Quite a personality that Eddie Pinheiro brings to the table for the 49ers, joking around with Jack Bomeister and the veteran Corliss Waitman. And yeah, we saw Nick Bosa on the sled earlier. Now we can take a look at Nick Bosa getting after it increasingly with every single practice. We see more and more from Nick every single time the 49ers head out there. I'm sure within a couple of weeks, Nick is going to be in team drills. Now, before I get into the play-by-play from practice, and you know that I always do, we will go through the injuries so far in camp because I did talk about Pearsall at the top of the show. Jordan James fractured a rib Monday. It might have come on this play because the 49ers don't have pads on yet, so they're not really hitting, but maybe one of the punch-out attempts got Jordan James. It's an arrow up for Kaelon Black, the rookie who has impressed the 49ers, including Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, you can see it. You see him? Yeah. No, he's stacked, man. You can definitely see it. You can tell he's played at high level of football. He's played mature football. He's made it. I can't say enough good. He's exactly what you would want a rookie to come in and be like. And again, I think our whole running back room is great, and he complements it so well in the way he runs. I think when you look at him, his rookie year, and then you go look at me, my rookie year, they look very different in age.
But McCaffrey loves the maturity and the muscle on Kaelon Black, who might effectively move to running back 2 now while Jordan James is out. Isaac Guerendo continues to work on the side field. He's on the PUP list coming off the torn pectoral muscle. I would expect Guerendo to be back sooner rather than later. Malik Mustafa missed today's practice with a hamstring strain. That opened the door for Marquise Siegel to be the first team safety next to Jair Brown. Earlier in camp, Christian Kirk strained his calf. Now Kirk, the veteran wide receiver, he's probably going to be a big part of the 49ers' plans, especially if Ricky Pearsall is in any way compromised. And I don't know what they're going to do with Pearsall. They say all options are on the table. I don't know if they're going to scope his knee, and that would mean a few weeks out. I don't know if he's going to undergo full surgery, and that would be several more weeks. You have to wait and see, rely on your depth for the time being. But the one thing here is that Christian Kirk can play either the F, which is the slot position, or the Z, which is the flanker position that Ricky Pearsall plays. Mike Evans is obviously the X. The 49ers, I think, have plans for De'Zhaun Stribling to be the X in the future, but for the time being, you basically have him at F, and he's a matchup nightmare for anybody. Big slot. He's like a Jawan Jennings, but with 4.3 speed. I don't think that the 49ers necessarily want to move De'Zhaun Stribling outside if they can primarily have him on the inside, where he's going to be a matchup nightmare with his size and his speed against either slot cornerbacks or occasionally maybe even matchup safeties. I mean, De'Zhaun Stribling can really feast and eat from the inside. So Christian Kirk's ability to come back from this calf strain and give the 49ers some production at Z if Ricky Pearsall does indeed become unavailable for some games, and that's a big wait and see at this point, I think that could be invaluable to the 49ers. That's also why I say that Jordan Watkins is such a potential wild card for the 49ers. Grayson Halton, obviously injured with the bone bruise in his knee, but I don't think he's going to be out for too long. And I did mention yesterday that the 49ers added Quentin Bell and KJ Henry to edge rushers. The 49ers have officially waived Andrew Farmer II and William Bradley King with injury designations. Those were the two corresponding moves to fit the new defensive ends / outside linebackers onto their roster. So Romello Height is healthy, indeed just cramps for Height the other day. He, by the way, switched his jersey number from 94 to 58. All right, play-by-play from practice today. The play that stuck out most to me outside the De'Zhaun Stribling catch where he skied high to get the football, there was a deep pass that Brock Purdy put on the money for Mike Evans, which had been completed, a similar play the other day when De'Amador Lenore was covering. Today, Renardo Green was covering Mike Evans, and he competed, and he got the big pass breakup.
I feel like we two competitors and two dogs. You know, a dog recognizes a dog. Two dogs gonna go at it with each other, and two dogs gonna sharpen each other's sword. So Mike's a physical guy, so you better get physical and fight pressure with pressure. And then at that point, it's just about judging the ball and playing the ball.
Dog versus dog. Now, Renardo has been playing well. He had a big pass breakup that I told you about the other day. Jack Jones, who is also gunning for playing time, the free agent pickup, he's a spark plug. He's also a dog on the back end. But I think that Renardo Green, if he continues doing what he's doing, is going to solidify his spot at a starting cornerback position. And you can never have too many of these guys, right? You're probably going to have to dig into your depth at some point. So the 49ers happy with both Green and Jones. But it is worth calling out how wrong people were about the relationship between Renardo Green and Kyle Shanahan, based on the fact that we did hear or see Kyle Shanahan yelling at Green, but listen to Renardo Green talk about the care that his coach and the belief that his coach has in him and the positive effects that it's had.
Knowing that somebody like Coach Kyle, Coach Shanahan, knowing somebody like him is there to push me, is there not to let me slack, is there to be on my back. Like, me and him talk and we have conversations, and he's told me how he sees me, and it's kind of similar to how I see myself and what I'm capable to do and everything I want out of this game. So I appreciate him for just pushing me. Like, you know, if it's a play where he feels like I can make it because he knows the type of ball player I am, he knows my talent and what I'm capable of, I can't do nothing but respect it because I feel like I can make that play too. So me just pushing myself is one thing, but having a coach that believes in you, that believes that you can be one of the best, believes that you can be, you know, one of the top guys and all this and that, gives you more confidence to go work harder, because you know that you're not going to let yourself slack, but you know that he's not going to let yourself slack either.
So, no, the 49ers were never planning on trading Renardo Green. There clearly is a lot of confidence in his abilities, and You can just tell from that clip he's much more talkative than he was in the past. And I think that's the blossoming of a player entering year 3 now for the 49ers. We saw Green with a really good rookie season in 2024, maybe a slight sophomore slump, but cornerback wasn't the 49ers' issue in 2025. The pass rush was a much bigger issue, but he is definitely making a name for himself here in year 3 with San Francisco. Now, speaking of a young player from whom the 49ers want to see a big jump, Connor Colby has taken all those first-team snaps at left guard, competing with Robert Jones there, but obviously getting at least the first crack at it. Colton McKivitz, 49ers veteran right tackle, spoke of Connor Colby's development this offseason.
Obviously Connor, he's training in Iowa. I don't get to see him as much, but just from, seeing what he looks like now, looks like a completely different player than when, his rookie year, when, guys come in kind of big-eyed and trying to figure it out. He understands it a little more. He's playing a little faster. You see he's put on a little weight too, so he looks good. And obviously Dom, love playing next to him. And just talked to him yesterday about, he understands a lot more. And every year you're in this system, you pick up little nuances, whether it's, how you can use the play that's called to your advantage and kind of how, Kyle schemes it and Fur coaches it. He's picked up on that, and just the level of confidence he's at and where he's at in his development. It's cool to see, and every guy's come in ready to go. That's what camp's about, and obviously the first 2 weeks, and now we got pads going on. So now's when the real thing starts.
Now, when it comes to the 49ers O-line, they're facing a defensive scheme that has really evolved under the new coordinator, Raheem Morris. And Kyle Shanahan was back out there, by the way, today for his 20 to 30 minutes. He watched from center field, where John Lynch likes to watch from, the former safety. Well, another former safety involved with the 49ers is Raheem Morris, their defensive coordinator. He played at Hofstra, and he watched in center field with Lynch and Shanahan, but Morris has brought a much bigger emphasis on 5-man fronts, which the 49ers offense has struggled against occasionally in the past. Opening up holes in the run game is different versus 5-man fronts. What we're seeing now, and this is going to get much more intense in a couple days when the pads come on here at the 49ers facility after the break on Thursday, but what we're seeing now is the 49ers offense actually happy that it's getting to work against a more diversified defense because they feel it's going to better prepare them for what they see in the regular season.
It's beneficial in the way that that's all we see in the regular season. So now that we get to go against it starting in August instead of game planning it for the first week in September, it makes it a lot easier for us. Obviously, it makes it fresher in our minds. We're getting a lot more. It's not, a typical found jetting front. So we're getting a lot of looks with 5 down, spinners with D linemen off the ball. So it just kind of puts us ahead of the game and what we're going to see, in the season more than just a 4-down base front. So a lot more schematically different for us, and it helps us in the long run.
All right, now more from practice. I spoke about Jack Jones earlier. He today had an interception against Mac Jones. Now, this was on kind of a rollout jump ball throw to Jacob Cowing, and I will say, I didn't mention Jacob Cowing when I was talking about the receivers earlier. It's because he's been the least productive of many of those receivers, at least the ones who are serious contenders to make the 53-man roster. He's the smallest one, and he's not winning any jump balls. Now, today, he ultimately did catch a pass later, and the 49ers ran a reverse that Jacob Cowing turned into a first down. My fear is that the ceiling, based on what I've seen this camp, and he was better during OTAs, so maybe I should give camp a little bit more time to blossom. But if the ceiling is only that of a gadget player for Jacob Cowing, then he's going to have to win the punt return competition to make the football team. Today, the punt returners for the 49ers in drills were Cowing, Jordan Watkins, Junior Bergen, Will Pauling, and Wesley Grimes. The final two of those guys, both 49ers undrafted rookie wide receivers. Cowing has got a lot of punt return experience from college, and he's a natural kind of guy to predict for that position. But the 53-man roster, we don't know exactly what the numbers are going to look like. Just can't predict what injuries are going to happen between now and the cut down. But the 49ers would obviously like their punt returner to also be somebody who they can trust for consistent offensive contributions. If Jordan Watkins wins that job and Jacob Cowing isn't all too productive as a receiver, in training camp. Now, I'm not saying that Watkins is going to win that job. He only returned a few punts in college, but if he does, that could make things a little bit tougher for somebody like Jacob Cowing. Darrell Luter Jr., remember him? Cornerback, final year of his rookie contract this year. He had a nice pass breakup today against DeMarcus Robinson, who did otherwise make several good plays for the 49ers offense. Jaden Dugger, rookie linebacker. He's still playing with the threes. I think more of a developmental prospect for the 49ers, but Jaden Dugger today made a play on Sincere McCormick, who's the running back. This was third team action, as I said. Throw into the flat. Dugger, 7-foot wingspan, also got long strides. I just thought that it was impressive how much ground he covered without really having to put in what it didn't look like a lot of effort, just because he's so long. But if they can get this guy figured out when it comes to the physicality of the NFL game at the stack linebacker position, because remember, he came over from safety that he played early in his college career. If Jaden Dugger gets used to the physicality of the NFL game, I don't think we've ever seen a linebacker with a 7-foot wingspan. So very, very interesting developmental prospect there. I mentioned that Mac Jones threw an interception earlier. Mac is also hilarious. He threw a touchdown pass on a little wheel route, swing pass out to the outside to Patrick Taylor Jr., the running back. It might have been a busted coverage. There was nobody there, and Taylor ran for what would have been a touchdown in a game. I mean, it was obviously backup action at the time. Dog days of, no, we're not at the dog days yet. It's not August yet, but it wasn't a huge deal. But Mac Jones acted like he just won the Super Bowl. Everybody's cracking up, raised both arms. Mac is a funny guy. Again, if you just put a camera on, HBO should come, and you put a camera on Mac Jones throughout the entirety of training camp, you would have yourself a very, very entertaining series. Absolutely, it would be must-see TV. I would subscribe. I would watch Mac Jones, and then I'd probably cancel my subscription after, but all good. Hall of Fame game coming up, and the 49ers, that means the 49ers will have somebody inducted into the Hall of Fame. That is Roger Craig, the first 1,000 guy. Christian McCaffrey spoke of him.
He was a pioneer, man. He was one of the first guys who really could do it all to rush for 1,000 yards and catch for 1,000 yards in that era is different than doing it now. And so I have the utmost respect for him. I think, when you look at how good those teams were and how many big names they had, a lot of times he gets left out. And, I'm so happy that he got a gold jacket because he absolutely deserves it. And, yeah, definitely seen all of them. Those eyes when he was running through the hole. Bobby T brings that up all the time. His knee drive, all that. He was a stud.
And to wrap things up, since Brock and Jenna Purdy announced that they've got a second child on the way, is Christian McCaffrey talking about being a dad.
Oh, man, just spending time with my daughter. Yeah, watching her grow every day was amazing. It's crazy how fast it's going, but that would definitely be my highlight.
And I can corroborate all that Christian had to say. Savannah Lombardi, doing well. Had to include her in one of these 49ers updates from the helmet.
Throw your hands! Go! Get off, Demo! Yeah, Demo. Get out! Hit it! CJ! Or CJ! Now get the fuck off, see the dot! Whoa. What's it, James? Versus Seabass. Okay. It's okay. Come on. Throw it. Hips to contact. Ass right through your hand. Come on, get up, see it. Good. That's good. Let's go. Come on, get under it. Go, good. That's the way to jump out. That's it right there.